Hi, I'm Holly and I'm a sport therapy student. I'm also a qualified fitness instructor, and I'm going to show you some different exercises and moves you could do while in your room or at home, in your garden, wherever that might be. I am currently still in my student flat in Leeds, so I have quite a small room to work with. But by using different equipment, different household items, I have a yoga mat, whether you do or don't, that's perfectly fine. But by using different things, you can find a way to try and do the same or similar workout routine that you may usually have at home. Or if you're just wanting to start moving your body, you're sitting down a lot, or you want something to add on to maybe some exercise that you're doing outdoors, all of these exercises will be brilliant to add in. So the first one I'm going to show you is a very, very simple move, which you've probably all done, but a squat. Now a squat's great, it targets the whole of the lower body. We can mix it up, we can make it easier, make it harder, there's lots of different variations. So I'm going to show you a standard bodyweight squat, and then I'll show you how to make it a little bit easier and how to make it a little bit harder. So if you stand with your feet hip width apart, making sure you're almost sitting back into the heels, so you're not coming forward onto the toes. So sit back into them heels, imagine you're sitting down onto a chair, push through the heels, keep the tummy nice and tight, and as you come to the top, squeeze the bum, don't overextend, but squeeze the bum and take it back down. Remember to breathe, and then repeat that for 10 to 12 reps, whatever feels good to you, and so on. A way to make this easier, if you have something such as a bed or a seat or something like that, you can imagine you're sitting down, so the same movement, but you have a little bit of support from the surface underneath you, like so. If you want to make this a little bit harder, you could add some weight, so that could be in form of a household item such as tin cans or water bottles. If you have dumbbells, great. I have a kettlebell here, so I often like to use a kettlebell. So something called a goblet squat, if you hold the dumbbell you could use as well, so the dumbbell or the kettlebell or whatever weighted item you have, and exactly the same movement, so you squat down and bring it up, but you've just got that added weight, so it makes it a little bit harder. The second exercise I'm going to show you is another one for the legs, so it's really good for the quads, which is the muscles on the front of your leg. Also really good for the glutes at the back. Is a split squat. So a split squat, you're going to need an elevated surface. So again, I'll show you a way to make it a little bit easier, and I'll show you a way to make it a little bit harder. We're going to start with just simply your body weight. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to raise one leg up on the surface and one leg out in a lunge position at the front. When you're in this lunge position, make sure you've got your balance, you place your hands on your hips or wherever is comfortable, and all you're going to do is you're going to lunge down and then push up through the heel, making sure not to go too over the front foot, but coming into that position, going down into that lunge, bringing it up, squeezing the bum, keeping nice and tall and the core nice and tight. Again, you do that on the other leg. And then to make it a little bit harder, you could add the weight, so you could hold the weight either here or down below, coming into that position, coming down and up. The third exercise I'm going to show you is one for the upper body, so a shoulder press. Now for this one, you are going to need some sort of weighted item, whether it be 2 dumbbells, a kettlebell, or just something that's relatively got a good amount of weight that you can press upwards. So I'm going to show you with a kettlebell. To make this easier or harder would simply be adding more or less weight. So you want to stand with your feet hip width apart, core nice and tight, body nice and strong, and all you're going to do is you're going to push upwards and down, keeping it nice and controlled, making sure you remember to breathe, keeping that body nice and strong. You could also do this single-handedly. This does make it a little bit harder. We're isolating one side of the body, one single muscle. On the fourth exercise, we're going to go back to targeting the glutes. So we're going to do something called a hip thrust or a glute bridge, glute raise. You may have heard it as many different things. Traditionally, a hip thrust would be done on an elevated surface, so you might have seen where you have a barbell over your hips and you push it upwards, or you might see it on the floor as a glute thrust, where the back of your shoulders are on the floor and then you push up through the heels. Really good for the core, really good for the glutes, actually really good for the back too. So if we were to do this on a surface, we would place our back, top of our shoulders on the bed or the surface or the bench, whatever you have access to. Feet nicely placed on the floor, hip width apart. Bend your hips downwards, push through the heels, push through the hips, squeeze the glutes at the top, back nice and straight, core nice and tight, and bring it back down. So you'll really feel this in the glutes, you might feel it in the hamstrings too, so the backs of the legs. You might also want to add a weight to this if you want to make it a little bit harder, or like I say, do it on a mat on the floor. For the last exercise, I'm going to show you something called a kettlebell swing. So even though it says kettlebell in the title, you could use a dumbbell or any other weighted item that you have. I am going to show you with a kettlebell, as that's what I have available to me. This is more of a cardio based exercise, so we're going to get them heart rates up, but we're also going to use the shoulders, the core, the glutes, the legs. So it's an all-round really good full body exercise while getting the heart rate up. I love to add it to the end of my workouts, or if I'm doing a little circuit with some exercises together, I like to throw this on the end for my cardio or to get that heart rate going. So to perform this, you're going to want to place your feet hip width apart, grab the kettlebell or the weighted item between the legs. I don't want you to hunch over and I don't want you to overextend. You want the spine nice and neutral, the core nice and tight, and then what you're going to do is you're going to swing between the legs and bring up. Start off nice and slow, don't go too heavy to begin with if you've never done this before. Bring it to shoulder level height, core nice and tight. Don't just use the spine, use the legs, squat down. That's why I said it uses everything, it's brilliant. So make sure you're still breathing. Squeeze the bum at the top. And relax. I like to repeat that for 12 to 15 reps. Like I say, it's a really good one to get the heart rate up. Really good sort of cardio add-in. So there are some of my favourite exercises to do at home that you can adapt from your usual workouts and try and add it in. If you want to split it up, so if you're going to do like a leg day or a body day, it's really good to add some of them exercises in, make them easier, make them harder. Do whatever is right for you. I think my key message right now would be to not put too much pressure on yourself. That is what I'm trying not to do. So if some days I just feel like having a bit of a stretch, or like I say, we're still allowed outside for an hour's walk if you want to go for a walk, or I like doing some yoga on my yoga mat. And then some days I will do some weights, or I'll do body weight work. Just, I feel like it's a great time to not put too much pressure on yourself. If you are out of your normal routine with training or working out, then do mix things up a bit. Maybe try some new goals, try some new things that you know are your weaknesses, which is what I'm currently trying to do. So I hope they helped, and thank you for watching.